Hi and welcome to day 36 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. I brought my dad for this tour and was introduced to functional tools you typically don't see in the market. Chopsticks, which reminds me of how it might help mom with her trigger finger. Anti-shock fork. Non-slip jar and bottle opener. Scoop dish for easy spooning and stability. Mugs that were easy to hold and comes with a scale. Ergonomically designed fork and spoon. Okay, I gotta admit, I've heard of ergonomic chairs and keyboard, but fork and spoon? That's a first. Dining stuff aside, what about moving and getting to places? Some elderly need a walking stick, and when falls are so common, this is definitely something to look at. Introducing walking stick with a torch, seat and sound system. Umbrella that's hiding a walking stick. Rainbow cane. Ergonomic safety handle for easy standing and sitting with a swivel tray that you can connect to your sofa. The amount of consideration, care and thought put into the items made my heart feel warm and fuzzy. But that's not all. I'd share more in my next video. Hi and welcome to day 37 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. Previously, I shared the numerous innovative products that could help the sick and elderly. Check out my last two videos for the links. And today I'd share more about what else the H Plus Living Lab Tour introduced. A chair that helps you get up easily, literally giving you a lift off your bum. Energy absorbing flooring where we tried throwing glass jars onto that floor but it didn't break. Things don't break and you don't break too. Swivel cushion so you don't break your back turning around. I'd leave you with this item called the handy handle, which would be useful for caregivers helping someone stand so nobody gets hurt in the process. And of course, that's not all. I'd share more in upcoming videos. Hi and welcome to day 38 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. Taking a pause on sharing about products from the H Plus Living Lab Tour because I've more exciting news to share. A while back, I helped my parents apply for new passports since they were expired, and I was a little sad when I did everything, arranged for them to collect their passports, only to have their passports collect dust. When I wanted to get my dad to go out the country early this year around Chinese New Year, my grandma passed and my dad took it as a sign that he wasn't meant to travel. So the plans were changed about heading to JB. So the news is, I have finally taken my parents out the country. No fancy plane, no ship, just a plain old bus. No 2 days, 1 night, 3 days, 2 nights, just a day trip, but it's a start. After more than 20 years of work, home, repeat, I managed to arrange this for them. Although it was nothing fancy, only treating them to lunch and dinner, pastries, desserts, some shopping, my mom did say that it was the happiest day of her life. Just hearing this made it all worth it. Hi and welcome to day 39 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. I've always wondered why my parents don't hang out with friends. For my dad, it's probably a lack of time and energy from caring for mom, and for my mom, she's fighting her own battle. Come to think of it, I haven't seen my dad have any friends he says he's going to meet. It's always work and back. I was googling today if it's possible to grow introverted, and apparently it is. This happens with age, a phenomenon called intrinsic maturation. To think that I've been getting confused and even upset as to why I don't go out as often as before. But I know that social connection is key to health and longevity. I also know a fair share of older adults with a solid network of friends. You can see they're way happier. I can do my part for my parents by visiting frequently and communicating with them daily, but I want them to have other social connections too. I remember telling mom about going to the community clubs, active aging centers, connecting with befrienders, and even signing them up for Skills Future courses. Although nothing has happened yet, I still take it as progress because I've already planted this seed in them. Hi and welcome to day 40 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. It's that time of the year where you have to sort out your income tax if you want any sort of reliefs, and of course it doesn't apply to me because I'm not working full-time at the moment. Full-time or not, what's not changed is that I'm still on a lifetime mission of retiring my parents. I've always found giving my parents allowance fun because it's almost like you get to curate a whole salary package. Since I started working, I've been giving them regular monthly allowance and topping up their retirement accounts yearly. As my family belongs to the low-income bracket, both my parents qualify for the matched retirement savings scheme by the government. There's an eligibility checker if you're unsure, and you need only furnish your parents' NRIC number and date of birth. This scheme helps eligible senior Singapore citizens by matching dollar for dollar the cash top-ups to their retirement accounts up to $600. But here's the good news, because from next year, the cap will increase to $2,000 per year, so the more you contribute, the more the government rewards them too. I'm here to report that today I've just topped up both my parents' accounts so they can benefit fully from this scheme. Hi and welcome to day 41 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. Remember how I told you guys that I had an arsenal of money-saving hacks? Eating at hawker centers, coffee shops and food courts are great ways to save money. Yes, all Singaporeans should know this. But here's how I save even more money eating at already affordable food places. Food courts like Kopitiam, Kofu, Food Dynasty, and Food Junction typically offer discounts if you use their app or are a member with them. I haven't used the last two because I don't frequent those food courts and the membership program is either chargeable or a bit troublesome, like having to perform top-ups. Either way, they reward you with discounts. If I'm buying food at a hawker center instead and they accept Shopee Pay, that's one of my preferred ways to pay since I can use coins accumulated on the platform to offset up to half the cost. When food takes up the bulk of my budget, knowing how to stretch my dollar in this way has allowed me to provide more for my family. I've learned to be thick-skinned and ask stores about their membership programs. And if it makes sense for me, sign me up. Hi and welcome to day 42 of retiring and caring for my parents as an only child. It's the end of the year and this reminds me of how I celebrated Chinese New Year early this year with my parents. Typically, families enjoy a reunion dinner on the eve of CNY. Due to my mom's health situation, we mostly don't show up to our relatives. I've always loved to eat popiah, bakwa, and CNY goodies at my aunts and uncles, so when I was younger, I was not very pleased. I felt deprived of company and nice meals while other families were gathering and enjoying steamboat. Now that I'm older, I'm able to do the visits independently and I often find myself being the middle person, passing red packets, CNY goodies from my parents to my relatives and vice versa. But I also realized that it's not just me who doesn't get to enjoy, my parents too don't get to experience CNY in its entirety. That's why this year I whipped up a meal for our reunion dinner and brought Yu Sheng home. It felt like such an adult thing to do given that the people who prepared reunion dinners were usually the grandparents or aunts and uncles, so to cook for my parents felt like such a big thing. I am honored to do this for them and hope I can continue preparing meals for them for many, many more years to come.